Hey, what's up everybody? Diego Rivera here, and today I'm going to be talking about what is WWDC and what basically happened, the brand new features that came into our hands. All right, so you might be wondering, what is WWDC? WWDC is an event hosted by Apple in their HQ, Apple Park, at Cupertino, California. It is an event where they introduce all their brand new softwares, like brand new customizations, and for the developers to know what's coming to their computers. For example, let's say they have a new way to customize your app logo or new stuff that you can do to interact with people's devices. It is a great event, trust me, and it lasts a week. And then they have this certain video or this certain day during that week that they basically show what's actually coming. An introduction that everybody can understand. That's one of the best things that Apple does here at WWDC is introduce their products in a way that everybody can understand. All those for developers, but hey, even us customers can know what's coming over to our products, like the new customization that everybody's talking about, and Apple had to change their thumbnail, but that's fine. Every company makes their mistakes. And it is called Liquid Glass. This has been one of the biggest changes since iOS 7 on the iPhones. Same thing with macOS. On macOS, it's more transparent. It is something out of this world. And when everybody started hearing about what's going on with the iPadOS, it was a great thing. Because honestly, I've been owning an iPad for years, and I had a great experience. And since we bought this thing called the Magic Keyboard Portfolio, and you connect it to your iPad, and it makes it feel like a Mac, but there was something missing. How you customize the windows or stuff like that, like in the Mac OS. You had the minimize window open to the whole entire thing, or they added the stage manager thing, but I didn't really like it. That feature was all right, to be honest with you. So I'm going to be talking about iPadOS, macOS, and iOS. Come check it out with me. So let's start talking about iOS, how everything changed, to be honest. It was, when I saw this new iOS 26, now it's going to be called by the year that it comes out. So for example, if it comes out this year, it will be 25. But no, instead of being iOS 18 or iOS 19, no. Every OS is going to be named by the year. For iOS 26, what basically happened? There's a new design with liquid glass, beautiful, delightful, and instantly familiar. You guys can see on this picture, it looks really, really nice. I mean, I like it in some way, but I would like it darkened, because if it's too clear, then I can't barely see what's actually on my home screen. So with visual intelligence, they have enabled, with your Gemini or ChatGPT, when you share an item or an object or anything in your camera, it would recognize it and tell you what it is, the price, or whatever you ask about it. Well, now Apple Intelligence has that integrated into the iOS. You can personalize chats with polls. Polls is a way that, hey, I don't know if you guys have used a lot in that feature in Instagram or in YouTube now, you can do that too. Well, they integrate into your iMessage. In iMessage, if you're in a friends group chat and you say, hey, I want to go out to this place or this place, you guys can vote now in the polls. It is a great feature, to be honest. It's a feature that I'm going to be using a lot with my friends or even family members to decide what we can do. Now, the question is that going to be a RCS feature that is going to be between iPhones and Androids, or it's just an iOS? We'll find out soon. This feature that I saw that is very interesting, and I really like it, that it will be a lot better for, you communicated with a person from a different language. For example, FaceTime is going to get live translations, and same thing with messaging and on the phone. You can see when you're on the FaceTime, you can see the text and it will translate for you. For example, if you have family members like, let's say, all the way in Italy and you're from the US, you don't really know your home language, that's fine. That's understandable. Your iPhone will now translate for you. And that's a lot better because To be honest, I have sometimes that problem. I had some family members up in Italy, my cousins, and they're like, hey, Diego, and they were talking in their language, and I couldn't understand. But now seeing this, that is becoming one of the priorities in the iPhones, it's going to be a great thing and for us to communicate a lot better. Another feature that I really liked was I guess they call it just eliminate distractions with the new screening tools in your iPhone. What does that mean? So when you call an office and they say, hey, we're going to put you in line. You're there. It's just going to wait. And then they put you with the music, relaxing music, in some way. Honestly, it's hilarious. Well, now your iPhone, you can still use it. You don't need to listen to it. And once they start talking or the music is over, when the person says, hey, welcome to blah, 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 and how may I help you? Your iPhone puts the text message, they're back. And you can come right back. You don't even have to worry. It will literally tell you at the moment. It's a great feature. Really like it. Another one, Apple CarPlay. Now you can get more information in a glance. So you can add more widgets. Like, for example, if you're going to pick up somebody in the airport and you don't know where their airplane starts to land or when their flight departures or arrives, well, now you can have it in your CarPlay. There's some more customizations between your iPhone and CarPlay, so you can add more widgets and more customization too. It's a great feature. So pretty cool, Apple. The lock screen. So like I said, they're bringing a lot of customization, even more. Now you can put like it's weird, not gonna lie, but I kind of like it. How the numbers can be stretched out behind the person, and there's gonna be this 3D effect on certain pictures. I don't know how they do that, but it looks great. It's gonna be integrated into the iPhone. For example, when you pick up your phone, as you can see, you go side to side, and it would legit feel like a 3D effect. When I was looking at other overviews about WWDC, a lot of people really like that feature. More customization, better lock screens, more of your device. Let's talk about the home screen now. The home screen, when they introduced with how it just looked all clear, it is very interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. In my personal opinion, I really don't like it all clear because it's going to be hard to see. That's literally been one of the top topics about the brand new OS on all the devices. When you make it all clear, it's kind of difficult in certain backgrounds, but it is a great feature. It makes you feel like everything's so glossy. It's pretty insane. But like how Apple calls it is liquid glass. I mean, I really like how it just legit turns from a circle to a random oval. It just changes between like liquid glass. So pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about macOS. This is a software that a lot of us are using with our iMacs or MacBooks in our homes or in the university. So the macOS received another update that there's going to be more widgets like the activities. It's just going to continue to your Mac automatically. Or you can add the widget just like in your iPhone. For example, with the Delta app, you can see, like I said, arrive or departure of your aircraft. And now it just goes straight into your Mac without even needing to do something with the widget or a third-party app. One of the features that a lot of people were talking about was the Spotlight menu. The Spotlight menu is basically a search bar that you can write and then send a message through there, or you want to search a certain file and stuff like that. And they really worked on it pretty well because not a lot of people were using it. They were using a third-party app that even made it even better, like a lot better. But now you could say, hey, send a message to this person. Hey, I'm going to the studio. I will see you later. And then it will send it to that. Or send it to a group chat from that bar. So you don't really have to go inside of the iMessage or whatever app you're using. It is another thing that has been great. People that really use a lot of their files. Because there's people that really go deep into the Mac to search for a file. Well, now you can just do it at a glance from your Spotlight menu. So now you can finally on the macOS personalize the control menu. You can do it like just in your iPhone or just in your iPad. Great feature because honestly, I kind of wanted more customization in that certain section. Now, what people are complaining about is that it's too clear. And what does that mean? It's hard to see the menu. That's understandable, but I know Apple will fix it soon during this fall. They have refreshed certain sections. So, for example, you can see your whole entire menu bar now. Everything on the Mac can be clear, or even at the launch pad. Or you can tint it just like in your iPhone. Great feature, more customization. That's what us customers we wanted. Now let's talk about ipadOS, how this one received the most attention, to be honest with you, because they did a refresh on the way that the ipadOS work, like a Mac. That's what people were waiting for a long time. Since the iPad Pro came out with the Apple Silicon M1, a lot of people said, wait, are they going to do a refresh in the OS? But no, they did it now in iOS 26. I've been having the iPad for a while, and I still haven't had a hands-on on iOS 26. Basically, with the Windows, there's more flexibility and more power in your hand. You know, a lot of people really like touchscreen computers. Well, now you can have that with your iPad, and it feels just like a Mac. So I don't know if you saw, in the Mac OS, you can put your folders on the dock. Well, now you can do that in your iPad. So for example, if you're working on a project and you don't want to go through the folders app, you can just have it right at your dock, right there. Faster and easier and way better. To be honest, in my opinion, that was a problem that I was having. I had to select each little thing and then just put it in the app. No, now I can just throw it in the certain app that I'm basically editing. And another thing that I saw, they make it just like the Mac OS, that you press on the dock, you press on the folder in the dock, and it was just open like a side architecture. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. And then it shows you what images and videos, what you got in that folder. And I forgot to say, this has been one of the biggest for creators. Finally, you can customize the folder icon on macOS and ipadOS. And the folder app got fixed too. This was literally one of the biggest changes they've made in that app specifically. And it made life a lot easier with your macOS and ipadOS. With those devices, you can create a lot of content. And now that you can organize it even better, for example, if you want to put a microphone on the certain rows of audios or the A rows and B rows, you can do that now, even on your iPad. I just love it, to be honest. It's going to be one of the best features that they have brought into this OS. Now, I know you guys, the creators out there, I know you guys use the preview app a lot in the Mac OS. And now it's finally coming to ipadOS too. Like I said, you can just press a button, press a folder, and you can have the previews. Isn't that great? You can have it like your Mac in Windows. Literally has been one of the best. I know a lot of students and a lot of creators are going to use the iPad more than their Macs because now they have more flexibility and power, just like Mac OS. I don't know, to be honest. I thought it was... I thought Apple was scared to do this because then a lot of people would just leave the Macs, but the Mac still has their pros and cons, just like the iPad. So it is still a great thing to have in your hands. And one of the main things, like I was talking about in the iOS, you can communicate even more with the live translations. This has been one of the best features that they have done. And they brought it to the macOS, ipadOS too. Like I kept saying, it's a great way that now you can use your iPad like a Mac. The flexibility that you have and the power with the windows. You know how on your Mac you can slide the window to a certain section of the screen and it will put it there. It will lock it there. You can do that in your iPad too. Like you see the feature right here. You have new ways to control your windows. And basically you can minimize, you can full screen or arrange the windows in an easy layouts. You can expose the windows just like you do in your Mac OS. You know, you put all your 5 fingers and go in towards the mouse pad and it will legit show you everything. It's a pretty cool feature, and I really love the way that they added the X, the minus, and the expand for full screen on iPadOS. Really love it. Another thing for the creators here that they really shouted out a lot during the event was the background task. You know how in the iPad, when you open another app, it will stop a certain app in the background? And now you can download multiple stuff at the same time in your iPadOS. Great feature, Apple, and thank you for adding that, because now you can download basically the audio from your Mac or from your hard drive, SSD, whatever you want to call it, from anywhere and be downloading multiple stuff at the same time. Sorry about that, guys. It's just been great, really. For the iPadOS is basically a whole entire refresh. They did a great job with this. Another thing that really called my attention on iPadOS, it is the phone app. Basically, like on your iPhone, you press there, you have your contacts, the people that you called recently, just like a phone. Well, now you have it on your iPad. It's not only going to be FaceTime, now you have it just like a normal phone on your hands, in your iPads. Same thing with macOS. We'll be receiving the phone app, and the continuity is amazing. That's the best thing about having everything in certain way of Apple, your Apple products. For example, right now I can be recording this on my iPhone, and I just transfer the file in seconds through AirDrop. I don't even have to connect it to the Mac. That's one of the best things. Once you have the ecosystem running, you can transfer anything. If you want to transfer your call, you can just transfer it in seconds. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's literally the top spotlights of WWDC25. There's more stuff that happened during the event, but it was mostly the developer side that us as customers, we don't care. That's more of their side. But as customer side, like I said, they brought a lot of customization between iPadOS, macOS, and iOS. Really was a big deal, especially with the Folders app. That has been one of the spotlights of the event for macOS, and for iPadOS has been the Windows customizations. Great thing that they've added. Thank you guys for watching, and hope you have a great day. See you soon.